Last 48 hours have been very, very surreal. Pretty much since the moment that I said I would inject myself with coronavirus if they cancel the NCAA tournament. If they cancel March Madness, I'm not talking about play it with no fans, which would make it significantly less fun, but still we can watch it. If they cancel it, outright cancel it, I will get coronavirus the next day.
Wow.
I will get coronavirus the next day because I do not want to be healthy in a world where March Madness does not exist. From that statement, every single second after that, it got exponentially worse.
Mm-hmm.
Shades of Laker Dan, and if you know Laker Dan, you know Laker Dan. But let's not get into that. But let's kind of reset. We'll start from when it all started going downhill here. The NBA on Wednesday night, Rudy Gobert, who is public enemy number 1 in the world, who, by the way, I'm going to defend him a little bit here.
It was just a prank.
When I watched that video, I was like, that's exactly something I would do. Now, that's exactly something I would have done 3 days ago. Now that I've understood the severity and what's going on, I would not do that anymore.
Right.
But Rudy Gobert, like, I'm not going to, just pile on this guy for doing something he thought was completely innocent. Clearly it was not. So that happened.
It was short-sighted.
Short-sighted, stupid. But also, knowing us, we would do the same
Probably
thing.
not malicious.
You made the cough joke in an elevator.
I did.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
It's like it's not that crazy for us to say we would do something like that. So not anymore, but we would.
And regardless of if he did the microphone thing or not, if he had coronavirus, they're canceling the whole league. Like, even if it came out he had coronavirus and he didn't fuck around with all the journalists and did that, which was fucked up.
Then Woj also said though that
people are like blaming him for passing it to teammates and shit. It's
that's because the Woj report where he said he had been careless over the course of the last 3 or 4 days.
But everyone's been careless.
But
he was touching people's faces.
It seemed like he was going out of his way to touch people's faces and be like, "Oh, you're scared of me because I got the virus." So yeah, it was unfortunate. I'm just shocked that the first NBA player to have this disease wasn't J.R. Smith. This feels like something that J.R. would have come down with first.
He's not in the NBA.
Well,
right
he's in league circles.
He's somewhere out there. So that happens, and the Jazz game was very weird because they didn't know what to do. They rushed on the court to basically stop the game before it starts. The NBA quickly says we're suspending all games for the foreseeable future. And then from that point on, it felt like every single sport. I mean, the NCAA had already said they were going to play with no crowds. It was weird watching games go on, like conference tournament games go on. Fred Hoiberg is basically dying on the sideline. He ended up having influenza, and this all happens. I just said influenza. Yeah. That's the Instagram disease.
He was an influenza. Yeah. It's when you drink too much fit tea and you just shit out your ass.
Yeah. So that happens. NBA cancels. We wake up the next day thinking, okay, things are bad. Things are crazy right now, but they're going to play conference tournament games with no fans. Mm-hmm. That turns out to be not the case because everyone basically like a domino falls and everyone cancels except the Big East.
Well, they started doing it in the Big East were there limited fans? It was like family?
Yeah.
Or is that what it was?
Yes, and they played the first half.
They played the first half. They canceled the games. The sad mascot from St. John's sitting up in the upper deck of the of Madison Square Garden was quite a sight. I don't know why the Big East decided that they would just forge ahead.
It was crazy.
It's interesting to see an entire conference in fuck it mode.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, you know what? Let's just do it because canceling this seems like a big thing.
It was
James Dolan was probably on the phone with the Big East please, I need some ticket sales. I need some concession sales.
That was the best report. The report that all the owners got on a conference call and the Knicks were the only team that were like, we have to wait until there's a government mandate. Otherwise we got to play. But so all these things get canceled.
Then also last night, after Gobert was diagnosed and they clear the court, the Utah Jazz had to stay in the locker room for hours because they all had to get tested. Somehow they found how many 40 immediate tests.
Weird
for the COVID virus, and they brought them into the locker room, tested everybody. Donovan Mitchell has the coronavirus.
I was actually surprised. I thought it was going to be more players were going to have it. By the way, they made it sound like Rudy Gobert was basically just tongue-kissing everyone as a prank.
And they were saying, on SportsCenter, they were talking about how all the players would have to sit in a semicircle while they just, jammed Q-tips down their throats to get a gag reflex out of them. and then finally get a test result back before anyone could ever leave the arena. I guess the Thunder got tested too, and everyone on the Thunder was okay.
Right.
But yeah, it was such a bizarre night last night. That's what it felt like. I was halfway between an acid trip and just being dead.
I don't think anyone fully realized what was going on as it was going on. Like, we all were just watching and be like, wait, they suspended the NBA season? Okay, well, that's fine, but like, they're still going to play college basketball. Then they canceled college basketball. They took away the fans. And the Big East, they hand talk about visuals, the St. John's mascot. How about FSU getting the ACC championship trophy? They handed them the trophy, which was ridiculous. What are you gonna say?
In terms of the NBA, the Vince Carter, getting in for the last time, like the farewell tour, that was crazy.
Right. So then we're sitting there, and NHL is canceling stuff, and MLS canceled. I mean, when MLS, still WrestleMania and XFL are gonna happen for the first. That was still on the table. We all think that maybe they will suspend the tournament, push it later. 4:00 hits, cancel the entire NCAA tournament, cancel all spring sports, college baseball done, MLB done. We're living in
no NHL.
No NHL. It's crazy. We have no sports.
This is Marlins man's nightmare.
We have no March Madness. We are a country of revels. There are no brackets.
We are bracketless. Well,
think about that.
Well, brackets can't be dumpster fires in that
True.
case. But yeah, it's been a fucking weird day. Just like it was one thing after the other. You didn't know what was going to come next, but you knew it was going to be bad news. There's been no good news that's come out at all in the last 40 hours. There probably won't be any more good news for the next day or two. I don't know what the hell is going on if they're going to shut down New York City.
Wait. No, there's one good news. Duke, the biggest fucking prima donnas, drama queens of all time, canceled their own season before the NCAA could, trying to upstage everyone and be like, look at me, look at us, we're Duke. Then the tournament gets canceled, and then everyone gets to make the joke that Duke got eliminated first.
Duke is out first.
That was the only good thing that happened.
And we're going to get into it, John.
Fucking Duke.